I'm Steve Morgan, founder of Cybersecurity Ventures and editor-in-chief at Cybercrime magazine. As part of our ongoing coverage on cybercrime, we recently spoke to several top experts about how they view the human threat. But before we check in with the CISOs, we caught up with James McQuiggan, security awareness advocate at KnowBe4.
When people are dealing with cyber risk and they're dealing with the different attacks that are out there, sadly, they don't worry about it until it actually happens to them. And then when it happens, then they go, oh, okay, now I need to start using multi-factor authentication. It's also important that we know where to go if there is a problem, that we can get help. Every year, we got to do our taxes. And when I have problems, I know there's somebody that I can go talk to. The same thing here applies with cybersecurity. We want to know what the dangers are. We want to know what we should be doing. And then we're taking that upon as our own risk, whether we want to go, okay, I'll set up a password manager. Folks can be more proactive with it and have that understanding that it's going to impact them, and they know they want to avoid that from actually happening.
Employees are undoubtedly the backbone of any organization, but when it comes to cybersecurity, they present a considerable risk. According to Debbie Guild, former CISO and current head of enterprise technology and security at PNC, the key to diminishing this risk is a collaborative workplace culture.
My mission statement is Together Building Trust. And I just wanted to touch on the together word because as a security function, you can't go it alone. You have to do what you're doing in concert with your customers, with your employees. So while I've got my team size, quite frankly, I count every single one of my employees as part of my team. There's no form of success without that entire community of support around the function. It just doesn't happen.
Technology is an essential tool in protecting an organization from cyber threats. However, when we spoke to Mary Rose Martinez, VP and CISO at Marathon Petroleum Corporation, she told us that it is only part of the equation.
We have a tendency to focus on our protective technologies, right? How do we protect our organizations? There's a lot of tools, there's a lot of technologies out there to do that. They continue to evolve, and they're very good and very effective at what they do. But in addition to focusing on our technology perimeter, we need to focus on protecting our human perimeter. I mean, we're all familiar with the statistics, right? The majority of breaches have a human element associated with them, and therefore we cannot ignore the human side of security. And as technologies and tools continue to evolve and we continue to improve our protective capabilities, if you will, we need to do the same on the human side to help our employees become more cyber savvy.
As the VP and CISO at Insight Enterprises, a Fortune 500 global information technology solutions provider, Jason Rader has gained valuable insights into the transformative impact of employee training.
I think that's probably 25% of what I consider my job, is making sure that the user base understands the risks that they expose the organization to doing their day-to-day, and making sure that they don't have to make those ethical decisions for the organization on their own, because we've got policies and we've got security controls in place that make them feel more comfortable. Giving them the boundaries, I believe, is an important thing. I don't want to keep people from doing stuff. I want to show them the boundaries that they can go right up against. But people, they're going to constantly have to be retrained and made aware of the situations. And we've got to be honest about it. Don't say, follow your company's policy. You should say, here's our policy and here's what we do. That makes it more meaningful to them, and I think that's a shift that we've got to make it more meaningful to people, to have them own it, because people really do start to pay attention when it affects them.
The fight against cybercrime is an ongoing battle, and it requires a multifaceted approach. So, how can organizations ensure that their defense strategy is robust enough to withstand the ever-changing threat landscape? We asked Bobby Ford, Senior Vice President and Chief Security Officer at HPE.
You've often heard it said that humans are the weakest link. I fundamentally and philosophically disagree with that. I think they have the potential to be our strongest line of defense. Unfortunately, we're still relying on awareness and education as opposed to actually equipping them. And so what I would love to see is a shift from educating our employees to actually equipping our employees to helping us in the fight against the adversary.
For more information on cybercrime and cybersecurity, including the latest facts, figures, and statistics which convey the magnitude of the threat we're up against, visit us at cybersecurityventures.com. This special production is sponsored by KnowBe4, the world's first and largest new school security awareness training and simulating phishing provider that helps you manage the ongoing problem of social engineering. To learn more about our sponsor, KnowBe4, visit knowbe4.com.